Hey y'all, so I spent all day yesterday building a chicken coop and a run out of just materials we have here on the farm. Actually, I tried to record the building process twice, and first time my phone died, which those of you who know me, yeah, that's no surprise there. My phone's always dying. Um, and the second time, it was right after I picked the kids up from VBS. I was trying to finish up and it just the kids were super hyper and accidentally knocked over the stand, which is no big deal. So I just like, no, forget about it. I'll just do a tour once I'm done. So I am done for the most part. I got to put the gate in, but I actually need my husband for that part. I want to reuse a gate that we're no longer using, but it's still attached to the old barn. So I'll need his help getting that taken down and then putting an actual post in for the gate to latch onto. But other than that, everything's done. Oh, and chicken the nest boxes. We've had chickens in the past, and the last set of chickens we had, I wanted to free range, and they decided that they were going to become wild chickens. They stopped coming back to the coop. They set up shop out in the woods somewhere. I'm not real sure where. We see them every now and then, but anyway, so I guess technically we still have chickens. They're just, wild chickens. But we built nest boxes to put in the barn, and so we're going to repurpose those. We'll have to cut them down a little bit to fit in the coop. The coop I built is much smaller than the barn, and we're going to have a lot fewer chickens. I only want probably 8, maybe. I don't want a huge flock, just enough to come out and get some eggs for the family. 8 a day, that should give us plenty of eggs throughout the week, just to feed me and my husband and 6 kids. But I wanted to show you all what I did, the materials I used, and I don't believe I'll have to go buy anything. So this is everything's come from stuff we had laying around. So here it is. So for the fencing, I actually used the hog panels that were on the little miniature hoop barn that was the sheep shed for a while before they decided to climb on top of it and destroy it. So I used these. I tried to form them so it looked somewhat uniform. I actually had to redo it twice because my brain wouldn't let me just throw it up and just let it fall away. It wanted to move, and I had to make it look a little nicer. But anyways, so I use those, just some T-posts to hold them together. Now I probably will put another one in here, maybe a couple more on the other side. But so that will be the run. I will have to buy a net. I know you can buy netting to go on top over the fenced-in area here to keep predators from flying down and picking any of the chickens up, but also keep them from jumping out. I mean, chickens can't fly, but I have seen them jump and glide a long ways and super high. So we may end up doing that. I don't want another flock decide to go wild and leave. So, but the coop here, so it's small. Like I said, we're not getting a lot of chickens. I didn't really need nothing big. Now this kennel here was actually left on the property when we bought our house last year. Here, Jace, come here. And so what I did was we put some chicken wire around the bottom, and then I took we had just one single piece of this siding here that was given to us. And so I cut it down to fit on both sides, and then I actually cut this triangle shape out to act as a window so they can get a breeze through there. And I did that on both sides here. I kept the pieces I cut. Thinking is for this winter to be able to just kind of tack them back up during the winter just to keep the cold and snow from getting inside. But then being able to take it off during the summer to let, you know, a cool breeze go through there. And the coop is underneath a small tree here, so that should help keep it shaded so they don't get too hot. Side here, so the nest boxes will go along the back wall here, and they have a roof over them. So if they sit up here on the perch and roost, then they poop, it won't go into the boxes. So that should keep it keep the nest boxes clean, and then they can also jump on top of the boxes to get up here too if they need to. So I closed in the back there. I put wood on the roof, but then I also laid this tarp down. I nailed it in. I figured that way if it rains, no rain can get in the cracks in between the wood, and it'll just kind of help, you know, slide everything off. But I think it turned out pretty well. I mean, it took me a while yesterday to get it all done. I had to stop a few times, help the kids. It took me a while, but I think it turned out pretty nice. I think once we get our chickens out here, that they'll do pretty well, hopefully. I've got to find where we put the old feeders and waterers, and I know we kept everything. I just don't know where it's at. So I'll have to go through the barns and all our random piles of wood and junk laying around and see if I can find it. But otherwise, like I said, I think everything turned out nice. And I think they got plenty of room for just a few chickens that we are going to get. I'll put the gate here, and then we'll have to move this tractor somehow. It don't run, so I guess we'll have to pull it out of here and get it out of the way. But I think it turned out nice anyways. And it's close to the house, which my oldest daughter was like, "Well, Mom, what happens if it stinks?" If we keep it clean, I don't remember any of our other coops ever really stinking, so I'm not too worried about that. I do like them being close to the house. I feel like maybe that's less likely any predators would come up. So we'll see. They were down over the hill when we first bought this property before I started letting them free range, and we lost probably 10, just disappeared. Something was getting them. So hopefully them being this close to the house will kind of limit how many predators will come up and try to take any of them. But I guess we'll see. Anyways, that's the coop and the run. Now, just gotta get the gate in. And I am gonna run chicken wire along the bottom half of all the fencing here, just to make sure they can't squeeze through the squares. I'm wanting to buy full-size chickens, already laying hens, but I guess we'll see. It depends on what I can find. If we get chicks, then the chicken wire should keep them in too, I would say. I don't know, but I'll let you know what I decide to get. All right, y'all have a good day.